Choosing the best way to display products in the web store is a really important step, since the way you display your products can attract attention of customers and make them interested in what you are selling. Sana Commerce provides a product list page template that is used to display your web store catalog in a number of ways. Choose a list view or a grid view. Configure filtering of products, for example by color, size, or brand. Show or hide product image thumbnails. Allow customers to buy multiple items just from one page by enabling order list mode. Sort products, for example, by title or price. To create a product list page in Sana Admin, just go to Web Pages and Product List Pages on the left-hand side of the screen. In here, you have the option to create a new product list page by clicking the red button on the top right-hand side. I'm going to click on an existing list page to show you what that looks like. If we hit the Edit button on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see you need to fill out the basic information to fill out a new product list page. You'll need a title, so enter the title of the product list page. You'll need the URL, and you should specify the part of the product list page URL, which will be used after your web store address. The URL is a required field only for the product list page in the default language, which is English. For the product list page in other languages, the URL field is optional, and if you do not specify it, then the URL of the default language will be used. We then need a page title, so enter the title of the product list page, and if the page title is specified, it will override the one specified in the title field and will be shown at the top of the product list page in the web store. In the web store navigation, the product list page title that is specified in the title field is always used. You can then add in a description, so you can add a product list page description and use the editor to format the text and apply the styles, insert links and images. On the product list page, the content from the description field is also shown under the page title. You also have the option to add in meta title and meta description to the product list page. So a meta title is shown in the web browser on a tab of the open page. If the meta title field is empty, the title of the opened page and the name of the web store set in the Sana admin settings will be shown on the tab of the web browser. If you enter a meta title, you can also use the shop name replacement tag, and this tag will be automatically replaced within the web store name set in the Sana admin settings. The meta description describes your page to search engines. It should provide concise explanation of the web page contents, and the meta description is used on the search engine result pages to display short description for a given page. Meta title and meta description are important factors for a successful search engine optimization of the web store. Lastly, you can set the product set. Add an existing product set to the product page or create a new one. To add an existing product set, you can search for it by title, and if you create a new product set, it will automatically link to the product list page. In the web store on the product list page, products are presented in the list view or grid view. If we go to the Advanced tab, there are some additional settings for the product list page. The first option is thumbnails. You can use thumbnails to show or hide product image thumbnails on the product list page. You can either inherit the default setting, which is used for all product list pages, or redefine it for any of the product list pages you have in Sana admin. You can also set a list and grid view mode. So products on the product page can be presented in two modes, list or grid. Use these options, you can give a choice to a customer which mode to use, or you can disable it and select the mode which should be used by default. You can either inherit the default settings which are used for all product list pages, or again, you can redefine it by product list page. You also have a default sort by option, so a customer can sort the products on the product list pages. Data which should be used for sorting can be configured in the search settings in Sana admin. And using this option, you can select whether the data should be used for sorting by default, for example, product titles, prices, or item numbers, or you can either inherit the default settings which are used in all product list pages, or again, redefine it per individual product list page. You can also use page layout to redefine the product list page layout set on a customer level. So under the design and layout menu item, you can define page layouts per customer group that will be used for all product list pages, but you can also redefine page layouts per individual product list pages. You have the default paging type. So using this option, you can select the type of paging which should be on the product list page. On a page, a customer can see 10 products. To load more products, a customer can use paging. And paging can be presented as links on page numbers, a button to show the next 10 products, or products that could be automatically loaded when a customer scrolls down. You can either inherit the default setting again, or you can define that per individual page. You can add in a background image. So using this field, you can add a background image to a product list page under the main menu. Where you see the title of the product list page and a breadcrumb, you can either inherit the default setting, or again, you can have individual background images per page. You can change the background color, and again, using this field, you can change the color of the product list page under the main menu where you can see all of the title or product lists and breadcrumbs, or you can have that per individual page. And lastly, you have your faceted filters. So either use the default filters configured in the search settings or configure the page-specific filters to be shown on the product list page. Using the page-specific faceted filters, you can set up filtering for each product page individually. If we click the Content tab on the right-hand side, we can add in additional content. So on each product list page, you can add some extra content. You can use the content management system of Sana with the page layout, row and column settings, and content elements to add necessary content to the product list pages. You can add the necessary content above. So in here we can see we've added in a video and a timer just above the content, and underneath you can add content below as well. You can add in as much information as you want to add. Once you've added in some additional content, you can use the preview button at the top of the screen, and you can preview what that page will look like. So if we go back into Sana Admin and we go down to Design and Layout, we will see we have the option for page layouts. B2B customers usually order a lot of products at once. Therefore, when you select the product list page layout, List B2B, customers can add several products to the shopping cart all at once from a single page. To add several products to the shopping cart from a single product page, customers need to specify the quantity for all of the products they want to buy and then click Add to Cart. The Add to Cart button is located at the top and the bottom of the product list. To show you what that looks like, let's just take you through to the store. If we go through to bikes and take you through to the road bike screen, we will see here that by default, we've set this out at a grid view. We have the option to type whatever we want in each individual box. If I change this to a list view, we will see I have all my products in a list, and on the right hand side, we can just add in the value of what we want to add in. We can see that we now have an Add to Cart button on the top right hand side, and if we start scrolling down, we have an Add to Cart button at the bottom of the page as well, and we can continue to add in products using this functionality. To simplify the process of adding products to the shopping cart from the product list page and make it more convenient for your customers, you can make the Add to Cart button a floating button. To do that, if we go to Sana Admin, go to Design and Layout on the left-hand side, and go into Product Lists, we will see we have the option on the right-hand side to make that a floating Add to Cart button, which means it moves around depending on how many products are viewed on the screen, which means customers won't have to scroll up and down to add products directly into the cart. Configuring the product list pages is key to how your customers buy. The way you lay out the actual product lists themselves and the way you display your products within these lists, the information you provide, and the way they can add to cart makes the shopping experience a lot better for your customers.